So let's get into the day, guys. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you guys. So let's get into the food. I'm prepping up. So I'm probably gonna be burning around 20,000 calories for this entire run. So I'm just trying to get different stuff to eat. I'm gonna be having hot food at certain locations, different aid stations, and then also stuff I'll be carrying on me at all times. So I'm gonna make out some of these vegan burger patties. We have some vegan sausage patties. I'm gonna have this for breakfast right before I run. We have some gluten-free burritos. I actually can cook these, and then I'll put one of these in my vest while I'm running for later on in the run. I have some gluten-free vegan wraps. This is what I'm gonna put the burgers on, like quesadilla style. We're gonna have some pickles. We're gonna have some applesauce. And then we have tons of baby food pouches. This one I'm gonna carry like actually in my vest. So we have the, apple blueberry oats. I like oat stuff because it's just a little bit more hearty. Banana raspberry oat. And then we have carrot, banana, avocado. Has some good fats. And then on top of that, I will be carrying 2 of these little local honeys in my vest. Time you're running far, just because you're burning so many calories. I mean, burning 20 to 30,000 calories during a long run, you're burning everything. You're losing your sugar, your salt. I mean, your carbs are depleted. So I needed stuff with high carbs, fat, and sugar. That's what's going to cause my body not to cramp up, seize up, or anything like that. So I'm also going to be carrying this stuff in my vest. It's like just almond butter and peanut butters. These ones have honey. This one has chocolate, like hazelnut, almond butter, maple. So I'm going to show you guys the hot food. I'm going to cook up the hot stuff where I'm going to hit having that later in the race, probably around maybe mile 40 or 30, and then so on. And then I'll have my other snacks I'll carry in my vest. I'll eat earlier in the race and then maybe later in the race, like that. And I'm also not just prepping food for myself. My wife and son are crewing me. So what a crew does, I have all the stations I want to stop at in the time. So say I want to be at aid station, say 3 at 1 p.m. They'll be watching for me there. I have like a folded chair set out. They'll set out. They'll bring the foods that I need. They'll help refill all my bladders with drink. They kind of know what I'm going to need during the run. So that's the cool thing is I set the time. So say I'm supposed to be there at say 3 p.m. and it's like 3:30, 3:40. They know something's going up, that I'm too far behind, that my pace is way off, or something may have happened. So that's kind of what a crew is like doing, or a crew is responsible for. So I'm preparing their food as well. So, but the thing is, we do have an Airbnb. We'll be there the night of, like Friday night. But to be honest, the food won't stay hot. It just won't. Because the race, I'll probably be running for my cutoff time, I'm trying to give myself, is 27 hours, but the race's cutoff time is 30 hours. So for food to stay hot for 30 hours, it's just not going to work. It's not going to happen. So they're going to actually be driving in the car to meet me at these different locations over the 100 miles. So this is a point-to-point race. So it'll be from Jacksonville to Daytona. This is going to be a combination of my food and their food. So let's check it all out, guys. I mean, it looks like a lot of food, but I mean, when you're considering burning 20,000 to 30,000 calories, I mean, I'm gonna be going through it pretty quick. So we got the burgers and the sausages going. So I'm gonna have Saturday morning, I'm gonna have 2 sausages on a piece of bread with some cheese, and I'm gonna take these burgers. I'm gonna do the quesadillas. So I'll put like this, but fold them in half. I'll have 1 burger on 1 quesadilla with some vegan cheese. I'll be able to run with that in my hand. It won't be a big deal. And what works for me is these bigger meals I'll eat later in the race, but every hour I'll be consuming something that's 100 calories. So it can be gels that I always will have with me. This is the brand that I use. It's like a chia seed brand. It doesn't have any artificial like sweeteners or like anything like that. And it's gluten-free and vegan, since I am gluten-free and vegan. These are like the best, man. They're made in America. They're actually made in Tennessee. So super cool company. The product's really good. And each one of these are 100 calories. So I'll be having a ton of these my aid stations are every like 20 miles. So I'll have these packed in my vest, and every time I hit aid station, I'll grab more of these. I'll carry 1 or 2 of these baby foods, but I'll be carrying at least 5 of these on me at all times, these gels. I'm also gonna make some of this because this doesn't taste bad cold. This is just creamy Alfredo. It's vegan, gluten-free pasta, but it has tons of protein. It has 16 grams of pro. For the whole box, it's 400 calories. I don't, I'm gonna eat like probably 5 spoonfuls during the run, just because I can't carry a giant thing of macaroni and cheese with me when I'm running. But I'll try to eat as much as possible every time I hit the aid station. I'm also gonna make some of this up for later the run, when I get something hot like a hot coffee, probably around mile 70 or 80. I'm gonna make these up. It's just like, I don't need to keep saying gluten-free vegan, but you guys get the point. This is the ingredients, super light on the ingredients, which is nice. We're just gonna make this into cakes and just cut squares. It'll be nice and filling. Eat it with a hot coffee, you know what I'm saying? Mile 70, it's gonna be like 5 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, depending on how fast I'm going. It's gonna be freezing, so that will be a nice treat to kind of warm me up and keep me going. And then, of course, I'm gonna have pickles at all the different aid stations. The pickles are really good. The salt that's in the brine is gonna help me, from cramping. So I'll be drinking this pickle juice as well. And the hydration I will be drinking, and this also has salt in it, is their hydration. Huma hydration is really, really good. Sticking to my vest, no big deal. We'll have one hot item that I'm gonna wanna have around 2 o'clock in the morning, just because it is right on the ocean line. It's gonna be freezing. So I got some, it's called chana masala. Much like a bean soup, it has like chickpeas and stuff like that. The flavor is really, really nice. It's like very robust. It's like almost like a chili kind of deal. So I bought a thermos. So this keeps stuff hot for like 13 hours. So we can heat it before we leave, throw it in here. Hopefully it stays nice and hot. And I'll be able to have that as like a nice warm something to munch on. I got my trusty old baked beans. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. Beans and some sweet and some garlic and some mustard flavor. I mean, it's gonna be good times. 6 grams of pro and has 11 grams of sugar, 10 grams of added sugar, 20% of that. So that's gonna be nice. It's gonna have a nice amount of sodium. So this will be really good. As you can see, there is a lot of beans up here and people are very curious. I'm like, well, I know you're not gonna stop running, but where are you gonna stop to go to the bathroom? There's porta potties and stuff like that. I mean, it goes through a town, so there's porta potties everywhere. And you just carry some like wet wipes in your vest and you'd be good to go, boys. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. And how I make this up is kind of a really tasty way. So it says 3 eggs, but I don't eat eggs, of course. So what I do is 2 different things, depending on what flavor I want to do. So when you crack an egg, the amount that you see, I will replace it with this organic pumpkin pie mix, or if I don't feel like having pumpkin flavor, I will replace it with cinnamon applesauce. It does take the place of an egg. It makes it fluffy still. Still do oil, still do water, still do the rest of the stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I just seasoned up the burgers with some garlic salt and black pepper. I'm gonna hit it with some turmeric in a second when they're finished. Same with the sausages. Cool thing about vegan meats is that this tastes like a burger, this tastes like a sausage, but if you notice, there's no grease in it. That's why a lot of stuff doesn't have saturated fat with eating vegan, and it keeps your cholesterol super low. With the vegan talking, people always ask, you're vegan. Is that how you lost over 200 pounds? And so on and so on. Being vegan is probably the best decision that as a family we made, because my son's vegan, my wife's vegan. We've been vegan for, I like to consider myself plant-based, for over 5 years now. And there's a couple different ways to do this. It's kind of like if you just ate meat. There's different levels of it. So there's fast food vegan, there's whole food style, there's raw, just like anything else. You can cook really good ground beef, like all natural ground beef, or you can get a burger from McDonald's, which would be a fast food. We do a mixture of whole food and fast food vegan. These burgers and sausage are considered a fast food vegan. Now there is burgers I do make and we also buy that are just made out of beans, seasoning, stuff like that. What makes this a fast food burger is like made out of like pea protein and stuff like that. Of course, that's not a whole food product. It's pea protein. So that's the difference. So I do prefer, like, not cold though, when I'm eating it, more of the bean style burger with beans and quinoa and stuff like that and seasoning. Same with the sausage. But I feel like, to me, this has a lot more fat, and this tastes not bad cold. So this is the route I wanted to take. Just to be honest, I've had these cold, and I've never had the more natural bean burgers and like the sausage that's made out of like herbs and oats and stuff like that cold. So I don't want to be out there, because a lot of times, just in general, when you're running really far, everything starts tasting disgusting and you start gagging. And anyways, I'm gonna have to hold my nose, probably eating it down anyways, because you're gonna be at that point of gagging, like not wanting to consume anything. But the thing is, if you don't consume your calories, you're not gonna make it to the end of the race. It's physically gonna be impossible. Your body's gonna shut down, start seizing up, cramping up, and you're gonna be done. So I'd rather eat something I know what it tastes like being cold than trying to eat something that I normally eat on a daily basis anyways, but I've never had cold. So I gotta keep it right, man. I gotta keep it right. I'm also gonna be consuming like liquid calories. So other than my hydration and water, I'll be drinking this. Coconut water, which has hydration naturally, super good. I'll be having white grape juice, has a good amount of sugar and carbs. And then I also will be taking like these pre-made plant protein shakes, Orgain, and I can fill like my front flasks with it while I'm out there running. Of course, there's tons of aid stations, and there's people out there making huge meals for every racer. But it's harder for me because since I am plant-based, you know, they have pizza, they have pancakes, all this stuff out there on the griddle that everyone's like being amazing and cooking up everyone's food. But I won't be able to eat just because, you know, unless there's someone out there plant-based making something cool, and I'll grab it. But I will be grabbing some chips, and if there's, you know, a Dr. Pepper out there, I will be consuming that. To add for Vinny and Ari's sandwiches, they love these Just eggs. Super good. I mean, they taste identical to like a folded omelet or scrambled egg. We'll cook this up, season them up, add some vegan cheese, and put that on top of, make an egg sandwich and put one, some on top of the sausage sandwiches, so they have something good to munch on. And so the Alfredo is done. I just add, of course, garlic salt, black pepper. I'm not a real big fan of like vegan butter, so I just add olive oil and then some oat milk. It's not that vegan butter doesn't taste good. It tastes actually really, really good. It's just pretty much margarine, but they make it with like, instead of just like vegetable oil, they'll make it with like coconut oil and stuff like that. I'm just trying to avoid so much oil. I just really kind of like to have extra virgin olive oil, and that's pretty much it, if possible. All right, so this is the sausage and egg quesadillas. These are for B. You got the egg just cut in half, piece of sausage cut in half. Super easy with a little bit of vegan cheese. Hit up a little bit of Kansas City Love Barbecue. All right, so I packaged up all the Alfredo mac. We have it at 300 just to keep the portions good, so I know how many calories I'm eating, and then also it makes it easy for the fam just to grab some and eat it. All right, so we're gonna make the cake. We're gonna do a double batch. So I was gonna do pumpkin pie filling, like pumpkin puree, but V wants it done with applesauce. So I'm gonna do 1/3 water, and then I like to do 1/3 oat milk. And I'm mixing it just right in the pan where I'm cooking it. All right, so it's called for 3 eggs, and this double batch would be 6 eggs. So I'm just gonna do the applesauce like an egg. That would be an egg, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A little bit for a little bit of good look. A little bit of olive oil. A little bit vanilla. Let's give it a mix. So it asks for 1/3 oil, like ×2, but as you saw, I just did like a little bit of zigzag and that was it. Nowhere close to being that amount. You don't really need it, just to be honest. Pop in the oven, 30 minutes, ready to go at 325.